Hi, and welcome to the general reading for Monday, January 21st, 2019. Now first, I want to go ahead and acknowledge that this reading is going up late, so it's probably not even going to be up until Tuesday. But I did want to mention that this is the weekly general reading that gives you the general dynamics, what to expect over the next 7 days, okay? So no matter when you watch it, no matter what year it is or day it is or anything like that, it's going to be describing the next 7 days, okay? So we're looking at that. I just wanted to mention I am using a deck that I haven't ever used on the channel before, but I do use with my clients quite often. It's called Dream Oracle Cards, and they're by Kelly Sullivan Walden. You might be struck by the art. The art is by Rassouli, Rassouli. That artist is really, really amazing and has done some work with multiple decks. Just wanted to mention that I don't know what his or her first name is, so I've forgotten if it's a male or a female, but their work is featured on other decks as well. It's just really gorgeous. Anyway, let's go ahead and name which pile is which. Number 1 is a purple butterfly. Number 2 is a pink butterfly. Number 3 is the blue or turquoise butterfly. Number 4 is a white butterfly. Number 5 is the orange butterfly. And number 6 is the green butterfly. All of these piles has the same amount of cards under it from the same decks, okay? So while you guys are looking at that and trying to pick which one resonates the most with you, you know, which one's kind of calling to you and that kind of stuff, I just want to mention anything you need to know about me is in the description below. The timestamps will be in the description below, and I will update it with a comment as well that I'll pin. And also, anybody who's expecting a video reading, those are on time, but the email readings, they're off by about 2 days at this point. It's because I'm sick. You probably got an email from my best friend Shannon explaining that. He helps me with so many things, guys. You have no idea. He's always behind the scenes making sure that the comments are you know, nice and taking down any kind of spam as quickly as possible from the channel. He's the one that helps me with every single decision that I make, and he and I are also making our own deck, which will probably be at least like a lot of the art and stuff like that will go up by June, okay? So I did want to say, if he does get a hold of you and says anything, you know, just know that you've got to be nice to him, because he does a lot of very, very boring things for me. Alrighty, so that said, let's go ahead and get started on our reading. And we're going to start with pile number 1. If you haven't picked one, go ahead and pause the video and pick. Otherwise, we're going to start now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move some of these out of the way so we can really focus on pile number 1. Okay. Hi. Okay, those of you who picked the first pile, the purple butterfly, we have the 7 of Cups, we have the Page of Swords, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. All right. We also have the lilies and the star. We have change, and we also have family. Explore your sacred root system. All right. Okay, so we've got a lot going on this week. I'm not getting anything negative unless you don't like change, okay? Because I don't like it when they change programs to make it like better or whatever. They always do it to like my Gmail and to my Facebook and stuff like that. I really don't like that. But yeah, change, you know, it happens. Let's go ahead and look at the tarot. We've got the 7 of Cups. This usually means that you've got a lot of options, you know, ahead of you right now. And some of them are really great and some of them not so great. You know, just try to make the wisest choice as possible for you this week. You know, if you are, you know, in a position where you need to make a choice, when you need to make a decision. Also, if you've got a whole lot of stuff on your mind right now and all of that, kind of take, you know, schedule some time to just think about it so you'll be thinking about it at a specific time and it won't get in the way of other things. Because, you know, this can kind of also come up when we have just a lot of stuff on our minds, okay? But you do have a lot of opportunities, a lot of stuff to feel good about. Just make sure that when you're making your decisions, you're following your heart. and you're choosing wisely. You know, that's the best. That's the best I can tell you. Okay. This also could mean that somebody might be fantasizing about you right now. So if that's kind of like a question that you have in the back of your head, the answer is yes for those of you who have that question. I'm being told. Okay, so the Page of Swords. You know, you've got. You know, sometime this week you're gonna be in a situation where you're like, you're in some kind of conversation and somebody's going to take what you say completely the wrong way. Okay, there's like nothing you can do to prevent this because it's like so ridiculous how they're going to take it wrong that it's like you can't even predict it. Okay, so just know that when that happens, it's because they think that you're being too like they're thinking that you should sugarcoat yourself when you're really just, you know, basically sharing a fact, or you're just sharing something that happened, you know, that kind of thing. I just get that somebody's going to be kind of sensitive around you when it comes to how you word yourself. That's on them. That's not on you. But I am getting that you're worried that maybe you should maybe reevaluate the whole way you communicate, for example, because of this experience. Don't worry about it. Just know that, you know, I don't even want to tell you to be more sensitive in how you speak, because I don't even feel like it's your fault. You know, I feel like you're just being honest, and somebody's just kind of wants to start a problem. Not to say that, you know, they're not genuinely confused, but just, you know, they're just not coming from a very clear headspace, okay? We have the Three of Coins, so make sure that when you're talking to other people about some of the cool stuff that you've been doing lately, sharing some of the cool stuff that, you know, maybe a hobby or what you've been doing at work, or maybe you get a raise at work or something like that, when you're sharing that with somebody, I mean, this could, refer to the Page of Swords, whatever that is. Try not to brag, you know, just try to just share because you're joyful. You might even want to just say that, you know, hey, I wanted to tell you this because it's something that's like really good that happened to me in my life, and I just want to tell you because I'm happy about it, you know, that kind of thing. That way they know where you're coming from, that kind of thing. But it's just, I just get that you guys might be a little bit prone to bragging a little bit about something that you accomplished real well. Those of you who aren't are going to go the exact opposite direction with this, okay? You're going to be like, you're going to think that people are telling you you're doing a good job when, like, you just did something that you normally would have done, okay? You did do a good job, okay? So it's like the perception is there. You are doing a good job somewhere. You are in a situation where you should be praised, you know? Where it's not such a strange thing to brag about, you know? And just try not to give into pride, okay? And also, you know, recognize yourself for what you're doing, okay? Because you're definitely doing something really nice. So we've got the lilies, and the lilies are kind of a difficult subject for me whenever they come up, because the lilies represent sex. I mean, that's it. It's the sex card, okay? So when we have Lenormand, we have like, okay, this is sex, and well, what is this? You know, well, this is destiny. This is like direction. This is, you know, it could be networking. Okay. Sometimes people, read it as networking. That's not a traditional, you know, meaning of this, but sometimes they mention it like online. But I mean, really, for me, this is your destiny and sex. So it looks to me like there's somebody that you're really interested in. Okay. Or maybe they're really, really interested in you, and you know who I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's somebody that you're really interested in. And it's like you feel that kind of pull towards them, you know? That's where the destiny kind of comes in. It's like whoever it is, it's somebody that you feel really pulled towards them, or you know who I'm talking about because they feel really like in your space, like you feel them when they're around, you know, and that kind of thing. And it might be a positive or a negative. It's just that's the way it feels. This person's thinking about you sexually. They want to be sexually intimate with you, okay? And that might actually also refer back to the Seven of Cups, although I really feel like this has more to do with opportunities than it does with fantasies. I feel like there's a lot of sexual attraction between you and another person right now. And it might be mutual or it might not be, but it's there, okay? And it's coming from the other person. It's not coming from you. It's like the other person definitely feels it. You might not, but the other person definitely feels it, okay? So we have the change card. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Yeah, I mean, I think that there is going to be some kind of change happening this week. I mean, that's kind of redundant, though, because everything's constantly in a state of change. But I think that there is going to be something significant. Like maybe it'll be a change at work. Maybe it'll be a change in, I don't know, maybe you decide to paint your living room. Maybe you decide that you're gonna trade in your vehicle for another vehicle. You know, I mean, it could be anything. But it's going to be significant enough that when it happens, you'll be like, oh, well, that was what Cassie was talking about. She was talking about this, okay? And then a focus for you this week is going to be family, okay? You guys might actually be interested in looking into your heritage this week, okay? Because that's another thing that kind of comes up when it comes to family. If they're, okay, this is oddly specific. If there's somebody missing in your life right now, that's a family member who's missing, okay? And this would be somebody who's been missing for like a couple of weeks, not a long time, okay? You're gonna either find them or you're gonna find out that they're okay. That is a very, very oddly specific thing. And seriously, if there's anything like that going on, I am not the expert on that. I am not part of the, I'm just getting that somebody's missing somebody that they're gonna find, okay? That's it, okay? For most of you, this just means that the focus is gonna be on family. There's gonna be like maybe a family member that needs you, that you're not used to reaching out to you. This is a very compassionate, it feels like a positive thing, okay? So it's not like a family member is gonna come meddling or anything like that. I mean, that might happen, but that's not what I'm getting about this specific incident. This is gonna be maybe a brother or sister is going to be reaching out for help. Maybe it's a niece or a nephew. Maybe it's a cousin. It would be somebody around your age or younger. I don't feel like it's an older family member. And it's like they just need to lean on you for something, okay? And that one message I got about somebody missing, please, take that to the appropriate people, okay? Don't take what I say, as certainty, because that's too serious for you to just go on me. But I'm just getting that somebody's missing somebody and they're gonna be okay. All right, so yeah, like really, the sexual energy is pretty high for you guys this week. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Alrighty. Hi, pile number 2. Those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here's your reading. We've got the Empress, we've got the 3 of Wands, and we've got the 8 of Swords. We have, oh my goodness, this is great. We have love and a contract. Okay, the ring and love. And then we've got flood. Okay, and then we have surface. Wow, you guys. This makes me feel like so, like, I don't know, it like quickens my heart. It makes my heart feel like giddy, like I'm about to get a love letter or something. That's the way it feels. Okay, so the Empress, coming up, this is always talking about abundance, okay? And I really feel like the abundance is in this like love situation, okay? I feel like for some of you, there's somebody that's far away from you that you're going to actually see, okay? You're either going to see them in person, or maybe they're going to send you a picture, and they don't usually though. Or there's some, like maybe you'll do a video chat with them or something, like somebody far away that you're going to see, and it's going to make you feel really, really good. It might just be somebody who's far away that's going to be coming into your area for a little while, or who's moving to your area or something like that too. Or maybe you're going to visit them. But it's like seeing somebody in a more meaningful way who's been far away. Like for example, my best friend lives across the world from me. This might be something like he sends me a picture, or maybe he decides to talk to me through voice chat, okay? Something like that. That's what that would mean for me, okay? But he's a friend, like I think if this was like your partner or somebody like that, it would be something like maybe they're gonna visit you, or they tell you that they've got tickets to come see you, or they tell you that they got you tickets to come see them, that kind of stuff, okay? It just depends on what kind of relationship is with the person that you have in your life that's very, very distant, okay? This could also mean somebody who's not necessarily distant, like physically distant, but just somebody who hasn't been talking to you. If there's somebody that hasn't been talking that you feel like should be reaching out to you and they haven't, they're going to reach out to you, okay? We also have you worrying a lot, kind of getting stuck in your thoughts and everything. Everybody does that from time to time. There's nothing wrong with that. Just acknowledge when it's happening that, oh wait, I'm worrying again, and that kind of thing. Because, I mean, if I say, well, don't worry, be calm, of course that's easy for me to say, right? But, I mean, sometimes we just get stuck on some ideas, or we get worried about something, and it's like it's really difficult to turn that off. So all I can really say is just be aware of it, and be aware that you're probably thinking about it in a much more negative light than it actually is, okay? Because that's what happens when we get into this Eight of Sword energy. We're just getting stuck in a cage that we're building out of our own thoughts for ourselves, okay? And that's straight up fear and worry, and a little bit of obsessive thinking, a little bit of anxiety there, okay? I don't use those in the clinical terms, although there might be, if there is clinical issues going on with you, then go ahead and seek a professional. So with this love and this contract, okay? So the ring, obviously it can mean an engagement, so I don't want to like just not mention that. It could mean an engagement. But what I feel like this is mostly going to be talking about is there's going to be some kind of gesture between you and somebody that you care about a lot. This could be somebody who's on your heart. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who you're in love with, but it's probably somebody who you feel maybe you have a crush on, maybe you feel love for, maybe it's your partner. There's going to be some kind of gesture, and you're going to be like it's like signing a contract together. So it would be like signing up both to do community service, for example, or both of you signing up to go to the same class, or maybe you're selling a house together or buying a house together, or maybe you decide to adopt a pet together and you sign the adoption papers, that kind of thing. It's like there's something that you guys are going to be doing together. Most likely it's just going to be like, okay, we've decided that we're going to do this thing, and and that's what we're going to do. It doesn't even have to be on a love capacity. It could be like, I don't know, maybe you're in school and you're signing up for your classes, and you and the person that you have on your heart are both talking about your schedules, and you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to take that class, like I hope we get the same class, I hope we get the same teacher, that kind of thing. It could be even something like that, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be an engagement, right? Some of you it might be. But yeah, so we've got service, and this is why I said community service first. We've got, I feel good when I can help others. Okay, keep that in mind. If you're feeling down, this is something that kind of gets me sometimes too. Like sometimes when I'm feeling down, I start feeling even more and more entitled. Like somebody should help me. Like, why isn't everybody else dropping everything to help me out when I feel horrible, right? like people are supposed to do that, right? When you're feeling down this week, if you are, okay, then definitely go, look outside of yourself to help somebody else, okay? Either in a similar situation or a completely different situation. Just find it in your heart to do that, because there's something about that's going to help you shed light on your own issues, okay? If you're not feeling down and you're just like, okay, but I'm, you go through your week, you're like, well, I'm not feeling down, so I'm not going to help anybody. That's okay. Just understand that even if you're not feeling down, you're going to feel better if you help somebody. There's something about helping someone, okay? This could be in an official capacity. Maybe you're a police officer, maybe you're a firefighter, something like that. Or a paramedic or a doctor, or, any one of those wonderful people out there, that save lives and all sorts of things like that. Or maybe you're just walking in the hall and you see somebody drops their books and you're like, oh, I'm going to help you, okay? It's just whatever you do, you're going to feel better if you help people as you're doing it. So just keep that in mind as like an instant way to kind of boost yourself feeling better, okay? I would say that maybe you might be called to service, somebody might need help. Somebody might say, hey, this person needs a ride. Could you help out and give this person a ride, or whatever it is, okay? You might feel called to help in a situation, and this is saying, yes, definitely do that. So I love this card. From this deck, we have the flood, okay? Express. Now, this is kind of a silly way of wording it, but it is true. Express the ocean of your emotion, okay? So, in tarot, we always have the cups representing feelings and emotions and romance and everything. It's because water goes so deep, and emotions, they flow, they get stirred, and all of that. They're rarely calm, and they come in waves, dips and waves and all sorts of things like that. That's more like what emotions are. So when we talk about water, When we talk about that in dream symbol, like as a dream symbol, or if we talk about that as a symbol in the cards here, we have depth, okay? We have depth, and we have the things that are hidden, that are coming to light, you know, that kind of thing. That's why water is typically representative of emotion, okay? So, I really feel like if you guys have been holding back from expressing yourself, I'm not telling you that you need to just lay your heart out in front of everybody. I'm just saying that you might want to go ahead and let somebody that you know, just let them know that you like what they do. You know, it's like maybe I could go over to my friend Shannon and say, hey, you know, I like that you helped me take care of my clients when I was feeling sick, you know, for example, because he did. Or maybe to my partner, I could tell him, you know, oh my gosh, thank you so much for taking care of the kids while I was, you know, doing my chores, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's just telling somebody that you like what they did. You know, it doesn't have to be a tsunami, okay? But if a tsunami is your way of going, in other words, if a big wave is your way of going, then go ahead, just inundate people with how you feel if that's what feels natural to you. I'm not telling you to hold back at all, but just find some ways to express yourself, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable doing that one-on-one, then just go ahead and do it like maybe in a journal or something like that. It's just the purpose of this card, it's calling you to express. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to confess, but you're gonna need an outlet for your emotions, okay? And however that works for you in your situation is the way to do it, definitely. Basically, don't ignore them. Find a way to express them, all right? Okay, so it looks like you have a lot of love energy in your life this week, which is great. All right, pile number 3, those of you who picked the blue or turquoise butterfly, here we go. We've got the King of Cups, we have the Chariot, and we have the World. Wow, this is nice. We have the polar bear and the home. Okay. We have trust, and we have X. Reunite with a lost aspect of your soul. Wow. That is an interesting card. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the tarot. That's my favorite place to start because it's usually pretty straightforward. So the King of Cups, this is somebody in your life. It could be you, it could be another person, okay? Again, this is very, very general. We're talking about the whole week. Somebody, or maybe you, are going to feel like expressing yourself this week, okay? You're going to be doing it, if it's you, you're going to be doing it with cool composure, okay? Because remember, the King of Cups, you know, the King of Cups isn't somebody who has gotten to be the king of the entire suit because he's all like emotionally like, oh yeah, you know, he's not like that. And he's not all dramatic or anything like that. The King of Cups, no, he's the master of his feelings, okay? So he knows exactly when to say something and when not to, and he knows how to express himself. He knows how to say how he feels in the least amount of words needed to get his point across and all of that. This person is a master of their emotions, okay? So somebody is going to be very, very tender with you, very nuanced with you, and how they tell you how they feel about something, okay? You might even feel moved by it, okay? That's some energy that's going to be coming up this week. If it's not somebody else, then I bet you're a really good writer, or you're a really good communicator, and it's going to be you communicating your feelings to somebody else, okay? Doesn't have to be love. Generally it is with the King of Cups, but it doesn't have to be, okay? We've got the Chariot moving forward. I really like the idea of the Chariot because when we get to the Chariot card, which is number 7, the Major Arcana, we've got somebody taking both a black and a white like thought process, okay? And most of us know what black and white thinking is. It's like either it's a yes or it's a no. It's either all good or all bad, that kind of thing. So when somebody is able to marry those two together, like it's a yes and a no, it's like it doesn't have to be either or. It could be a both and, you know, which is just a little bit more mature thinking when we talk about black and white. It's like more like the gray area, right? And when we are able to hold two opposing ideas in our minds, and be okay with that, not let it bother us, then we can move forward. We make a big leap in our consciousness, and we're able to see things in so many new ways and all sorts of that. Still, the Chariot is more about movement than it is that balance, although the balance is definitely there. It's being directly referred to here with these sphinxes, and in some cases they're horses, a black and white horse. In one of my deck, it's an albino peacock and a regular peacock. Okay, so it's depicted like that. Basically, you're going to be able to find a end to some kind of cognitive dissonance, and cognitive dissonance is just a fancy way of saying that there's going to be some area in your life where you're not feeling that black and white thinking so much. Okay, you're going to be able to kind of move forward in a situation that's very, very hard to understand, or maybe there's a battle between your head and your heart, or maybe there's a battle between your pleasure principle and that part of you is like, nope, you can't have any fun, you have to do everything, you have to be responsible and all of this, okay, it's like there's some kind of balancing that's been a long time coming, that's going to come this week. Okay, we've got the World. Okay, you're going to really feel on top of things this week. Okay, that's great. It really, really is. Okay, you're going to really feel on top of things. That's the best way I can put that without going into a private reading, basically, because this is too general to get specific. We have the polar bear and the home. Okay, for some of you, I feel like for some of you, not all of you, maybe a third of you, you're going to find a way to work from home. Okay, you're going to get an idea of something you're going to be doing to work from home, or maybe you're going to start your own, and maybe you're going to start like a hobby at home, but it's something that you could eventually be, you could sell, or you could eventually be really, really good at it like that. Just know that idea is going to be there. It's probably going to be worth focusing on and all of that. Otherwise, it could be somebody's visiting. It's kind of like an imposing force. Okay, so I hate saying this because I don't mean anything negative against mothers, but it could be like a mother-in-law, for example, a big imposing force. It's kind of like, like the mama bear that, kind of comes in as a little fierce, but, she means well, right? Or it could be like maybe you have your boss over, okay? Because what we're talking about with the polar bear, we're talking about a powerful person, okay? Usually this is a person that either owns a business or who's like maybe a boss, right? But we have it paired with the home, right? So, when I think about like a boss, I think, okay, well, mother-in-laws tend to be really good at being bossy. I think about like, okay, a literal boss might be coming over, but I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be, you're going to become the boss of something at the house, okay? So it could even be that you're taking control of a situation that just needed to be taken control of, okay? I feel like this is way more for you guys, like something coming from within you. Like you're the bear, you're the one that's taking control, you're the one that's like maybe delegating and that kind of stuff. But I'm not saying that none of you guys who are watching this aren't going to get a visit from an in-law this week, right? Okay, so we have trust, and I just wanted to read what it says. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That's so important, guys, and you are going to be feeling that really strongly with the Chariot and the World energy, because you're going to be feeling like, again, on top of things, okay? You're going to be feeling like you could have anything this week. It just really feels like you're in the flow, like you're really like, you're getting stuff done. You can't hear me snap because I'm horrible at snapping, but yeah, you're like getting stuff done and all of that great stuff. And I really love this card. It's reunite with the lost aspect of your soul. Okay, so remember, when we dream, it's not literal. Just because you might dream that you're having sex with somebody doesn't mean that person wants to have sex with you. It just means that there's a part of you that wants to merge with, a part of what that person is representing for you in the dream, that kind of thing. So if you were to see an ex in your dream, right, that wouldn't mean that like, oh, they're going to come back, or that, maybe you still have feelings for them and all of that. Usually it means something like there's something that you lost in that relationship, or something like that you're getting back, okay? So that's what the symbol means, okay? But like throwing all of that out, let's just look at the concept of regaining something. Don't give your power to anybody else, okay? It's not worth it, okay? And that includes somebody like me, okay? If I tell you that your week's going to be one way and it's like, nope, everything happened exactly opposite, don't, you can keep watching my videos if you want, that's fine, but know that you're going to be the ultimate expert on your life, okay? And this is saying, reclaim your power. There's something that you gave up, some piece of you that you let somebody have power over, okay? Claim it back, okay? And I mean, I don't mean that you have to call up your ex and be like, you know what? I told you, I told you that you had my heart, but you don't. I'm taking my heart back. Something like that. You don't have to be like that unless you want to, unless that's meaningful to you and you need to for whatever closure, I mean, you can do whatever you like again, but it's more like, you know what, I gave a lot of my heart to somebody that didn't treat it right, and I'm gonna take that back and I'm gonna mend it myself. It's very metaphorical, okay, very, very abstract, but it's the idea that, just think of all the people that you've spent time on that have basically kind of like sapped your energy, okay, or sapped some aspect of yourself, sapped your spirit, I can think of a lot of people in my life that have really, tried to hurt my spirit in the past. And it's not because I know a whole bunch of mean people, it's just what happens, when as you're going through life, just think about anybody in your past that's like taken some of your power and be like, in your mind, you might want to be like, hey, excuse me, can I have that back, please? Because I kind of need that, and heal it yourself, because, I mean, really, we all are fractured in some way, because of the way that we respond to the world, that's us being human. There's nothing wrong with that. That's us being human. And I don't mean fractured as in like some kind of spooky way that like, something has your soul. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just meaning that when we go through enormous circumstances, right, enormous forces, when they are at play in our life, right, it can kind of chip away at us, so sometimes we forget to go back and get that, like, you know what, I'm strong now, so I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna hold on to that, and I'm gonna be a little bit, yeah, I'll trust the next person, but maybe I'll be a little bit more wary of who I give that to in the future, that kind of thing. So guys, bottom line, you're gonna be feeling really on top of things, okay? And, oh, by the way, if you're dreaming about your ex and your ex is contacting you and you're talking about getting back together, that's because you're actually in contact with them, okay? I'm not talking about dreaming about somebody who is in your life, okay? All right, those of you guys who picked pile number 4, we are on the white butterfly. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got the Page of Pentacles, and we've got the High Priestess. We also have the 9 of Swords, which is kind of a bittersweet card. We have the Ship, we have the Snake, we have Health, and we have a Ward. Nice. Okay, so let's start with the tarot. It tends to be the most straightforward. We have a Page of Pentacles. You might start a new project at work this week, okay? Or you might start a new hobby or something like that. I don't feel like it's something really, really huge, but it's like, for those of you who picked this pile, I feel like there's something that's kind of new. Totally something you can do, it's not like, I mean, maybe some of you have been promoted and maybe you're a little bit nervous, but whatever this is, to me, it feels like, oh, you totally got this. There's nothing wrong, you got this. Or it just, like I said, it might be a hobby, you might want to go to, for example, like an open mic session if you play an instrument, or you might want to go sing karaoke or something, I mean, whatever it is, it's like you have a skill and you're doing it in some kind of new thing, okay? So that's what we have here. This is definitely something that could bring you money, though, okay? So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm just thinking as a musician, an open mic session would be a way to make a little bit of money, So we've got the High Priestess. Okay, so you're going to be using your intuition a lot this week. And if you're not, this is a call to do that, okay? Try to really tap into how you're feeling, at a gut level, or however you experience your intuition, okay? Because, I mean, I don't want to put too much emphasis on the gut, okay? So I'm not emphasizing the gut. I'm just talking about just, however you receive intuition, make sure that you're paying attention to it, okay? You know, act on it if you want or not, but it's just basically saying that if you use it, things will be easier. We have the Nine of Swords energy, and it's interesting because another pile had a similar card. It wasn't the Nine of Swords, but it was a similar one. It's all about overthinking things to the point where you're creating more harm than good. Okay, it's about. Let me think of how to explain this. Okay, so in the Nine of Swords, we see somebody that's like woken up from a nightmare, right? Nightmares aren't real, okay? While they can sometimes represent an aspect of our life that might feel out of control and that kind of stuff, the nightmare is you know, it's a relief because you know that that's not actually based on reality, okay? The nightmare isn't reality, okay? So when we have the Nine of Swords show up, it's like, on the one hand, you might have some restless nights this week, you might be really worried and all of that, you know, so that's not fun. But on the other hand, we have the, you know, but you're going to wake up and you're going to know that it's okay, okay? So like whatever it is that you're worrying about, you could stand to not worry so much. And I'm not telling you that because I'm telling you not to worry because, like, I know how ineffective that would be, right? I'm just saying that whatever is in your heart and your mind that you're worried about, or that is making you feel antsy or restless, that thing, you're catastrophizing in some way. You're making it worse than it is, okay? Because whatever you're worrying about isn't based on actual reality, okay? All right, sorry about that cut. I just, I needed to adjust the temperature in here. It was getting, like, stifling hot. Okay, so moving on to the ship and the snake. What we have here is like moving slowly. Something's moving slowly. And I feel like the reason it's moving slowly is because there's somebody that's not, like, either there's somebody who's not giving you all the information that you need for the situation, okay? Or there's somebody else involved that's, like, meddling, getting in the way, that kind of thing, okay? I would, ooh, I hate saying this, but I feel like for most of you guys, this is going to be a female, okay? And I'm saying it for two reasons. You know, we've got the, you know, the story of Adam and Eve, and Eve is the one that listened to the snake. Now, I do want to mention, because we're talking about religion here, I do want to mention that, you know, between the two, it was much harder for Eve to resist the devil than it was for Adam to resist Eve, okay? You know, like, we always, you know, people always say, you know, oh, well, you know, Eve is this horrible person. It's like, well, wait a minute. She had to resist the devil. You know, all Adam had to do was say no to a woman, you know? So, you know, but yeah, okay, so there's that, and then also because there's a queen, okay? This is associated with the Queen of Clubs. If you can't see it, that's the Queen of Clubs. So that's why I'm saying that, okay? I'm not saying that it's definitely a woman. I'm just getting that it's more feminine energy, okay? Somebody's in the background kind of meddling or not giving you a clear perspective on what's going on, that kind of thing. The ship usually, to me, signifies a long-distance relationship. I don't feel that here, okay? It's so weird because it's not even that I don't feel like this is about a long-distance relationship. It's like this is the absence of it. It's like if you are in a long-distance relationship, this is not referring to somebody in your long-distance relationship. This is referring to something that's taking a slow time to happen and some kind of like shady female figure that's kind of like making things a little bit tough, okay? Just really make sure that you're aware of the people that are in the background. If there's something you've been waiting for, make sure there's somebody that you know who it is in the background that might be stalling that. And also know that, you know, you can talk to them directly if you want to, but this might be a person that you'd want to stay away from, okay? And this project, I mean, we've got a big boat here, okay? I really feel like it's a big deal. It's not a small thing, okay? So yeah, keep that in mind. Just know to be a little cautious about that. I don't think that this is on your radar, okay? We have health here. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. That's so sweet. Okay, so I wouldn't have said this had I not read that blurb, but this could, as a vessel, this could be, maybe you have a doctor's appointment this week, or a dentist, or, something, having to do with your health. If you encounter, like, somebody there who is maybe not so nice, you might want to speak up about that and just say that maybe you felt uncomfortable around that person. You might want to, like, leave and then call the office later and let them know, that kind of thing. You don't necessarily have to, report the person right immediately, but it feels like, it could be that the vessel they're talking about in health, and I understand that means the body, I get that, but it could have something to do with this other thing here, okay? So keep that in mind. That might be connected. Okay, so we have award. Accept your well-earned praise. Okay. So, whatever this is, whatever this Page of Pentacles is, like kind of like an offering of money. Like I said, there might be something new. I even said that maybe some of you guys had a promotion, or maybe it's just you're starting something new, okay? It could be that too. It's like you're going to be rewarded for this. I feel like these two are really connected. So whatever it is you're going to be rewarded for, know that you really deserve it. I feel like you're kind of cutting yourself short with this, okay? Yeah, and I think that might even also involve the High Priestess as being, like, use your intuition, think about, what's the probability that anybody would be so good at whatever it is that you're being awarded for, okay? So you definitely do deserve praise right now for what you've been doing to get to the point where you are this week. All right, guys? Okay. All right, moving on to those of you who picked the orange butterfly. High number 5s. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Page of Wands. Oh my gosh, look at all of that fiery energy, guys. You guys are going to be taking action this week. Look at that. Wow. That's intense. You guys are going to have an intense week. Okay, so we have... All right, okay, guys. I rarely get these with Lenormand, but we're going to go ahead and start with the Lenormand cards, okay? We've got Loneliness, and then we've got Chase. Okay, the Lenormand cards here. The mice, they take away at something, they eat away at it, they get into your cupboard and they eat, they eat your food and that kind of stuff. Hopefully you don't have mice in your cupboard, but that's what's depicted. Okay, so there was a gift that was given to you. Like it could have been money, like literal money, or it could have been just something that you like. It could just be like a stuffed animal or something like that. It could be anything. But there was a gift that's really special to you that you got somewhat recently, I would say. Okay, so this would probably date back to just before Christmas or just before the holidays. I'm inclusive of everybody, to about now. Okay, there's some kind of gift you got, and either you might lose it, or somebody might want to borrow it, or you might get to a point where it might sorry, I just want to make sure I'm telling you guys that what I'm getting exactly. Or it might be like one of those situations where you might damage it in some way. I would just say be very, very careful about this gift, okay? Because I feel like you have the ability to stop whatever's going to happen from happening, okay? So let's pretend like it's a book, okay? Just because having a tangible thing helps me give better metaphors here, okay? So let's say your gift is a book, okay? Let's say somebody wants to borrow the book, okay? You might want to say, you know what, I'm not ready to loan it out yet, okay? Because it's like that person might not return it, or maybe that person will get it and then maybe they'll spill something on it or something like that. Like that's the kind of thing that I'm getting. Or let's pretend like nobody asks you to borrow the book, but you might, have the book with you and you'd be like, oh man, I really want to take a bath and read in the tub and whatever. Be careful because you might drop it in the water, right? It's like it's just saying something that you got as a gift is either in danger of being damaged, or don't loan it out or anything like that, okay? And if you got something really valuable, or if it's money, because it could be for some of you guys, just make sure that if you start okay, I'm not certified in any way to give anybody financial advice, okay? This is just coming through these two cards, okay? You please do with your money what you want, okay? And talk to a financial advisor, not me about this. But if this is money, it could be something like there's somehow you've been investing it, and then something's going to happen. It's going to start eating away at your money. Maybe your investment's not going to give you the proper returns. Just be on the alert for something like that happening. It's something like that going on. As far as making a decision on what to do about that, you've got to make your own decisions. You've got to talk to the appropriate people on how to protect whatever this gift is, okay? But for example, those of you who, if it does apply to money, it'll be very obvious because it would be like a gift of money that's enough that you would invest, right? So yeah, just be very, very aware of that. And I know that I kind of talked a little bit long about that. It's just I hardly ever get warnings that are that clear. So let's go back to this awesome fiery energy, because seriously, just because this is going on does not mean that you're going to have a bad week at all. Okay, so we've got some new energy. You have like all of this creative energy going on right now. Another thing this could stand for is there might be somebody in your life, okay, that is really like sexually attracted to you right now, okay, and they're going to make that known. Because this is a card that comes up, at least for me, that lets me know, oh, there's some sexual energy here, okay? We've got the Four of Wands, so you guys actually might be planning some kind of ceremony, some kind of get-together outside. You know, I know that, you know, there's some important dates coming up. You know, we've got Valentine's Day. We've got, at least for those of us in the States, we've got the spring break that people tend to plan parties around, that kind of stuff. We have wedding season, I guess, kind of coming up. But this would be, you know, in prom. But this would be something that you're talking about this week, though, okay? Because remember, I'm only reading for the next 7 days, all right? So there's going to be something coming up about either a ceremony or a get-together, or a celebration. Maybe you're planning a wedding. Maybe you're planning your friend's wedding. Okay, it's like that. Or it's like some kind of plan that you have in place for later on. But it has to do with this really fiery energy, okay? So this is like going to involve either two other people that are really, really in love, or you and somebody that you care about a lot, okay? We've got the Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. The Queen of Wands is like so creative, right? And she can really manifest a lot of good. But one thing that I love about the Queen of Wands is that she manifests things that are really, really happy. Okay, we've got the sunflowers here. You know, to me, because she has a cat, she's like already like totally, totally awesome. I'm like totally down with her. I love her. Okay, but like seriously, you know, and I am being serious. I mean, like I actually am. But totally seriously, this is letting you know that whatever creative ideas that you're getting here, you know, they're mature ideas. They're ideas worth exploring. Write them down. Pursue them. If you're a musician, you get a kind of a tune stuck in your head and everything. Maybe it's a song that you're supposed to write. Maybe it's a song you're supposed to remix. You know, it's like there's a lot of creative energy around this place, okay? Let's go ahead and deal with the loneliness. I know that I'm never alone, okay? I really feel that some of you might have lost somebody, okay, in your life. And this is just kind of coming through for those of you who've picked this pile to let you know that you're not alone, okay? They are, where they go, you know, I'm not going to pretend to know that because I don't. You know, I have different experiences that give me insight into that, based on my own personal experiences. But this is going to be something that's going to be personal to everybody, okay? And I'm not going to push my beliefs onto you, okay? But I feel like if you've lost somebody, they're trying to let you know that they haven't completely left you. There's not only are there aspects of how they've touched your life that is still playing out because you've kind of internalized their personality, some of their traits, some of the things that you've learned from them, and you're continuing to keep their spirit alive that way. But they're also coming through to let you know that their presence is with you still, okay? They're just not there physically, okay? And that's about as far as I can go. And I just want to kind of give this, for those of you who might be thinking, oh, well, I want to know more about this. I want to get a reading with her so I can know more about this. I can help you examine, you know, death in a reading, okay, and everything, but I do not channel messages, okay, at least not in real time. Sometimes messages come through, but like I can't do that in real time. You know, I'm just not trained to do it, and I don't do it with the enough accuracy. Okay, it is coming through kind of like, you know, somebody wants to tell you that you're not alone. Okay, and I'm getting much more feminine energy than masculine, although I do feel like some of you guys have a male. I'm getting that most of you guys are talking. You know, this person's a female. And then we have chase, face and embrace the person in the mirror. Okay, that's an interesting one here. Okay, so I really feel like this, you know, this loneliness and chase card, we're talking about identity here, okay? In one way, of course, you're never alone because you're always with yourself, right? I feel like, you know, maybe there's something that you've been ignoring about yourself that you've not wanted to really deal with. You know, we've got this energy where we're in we're in this like wave here, right? Of water and everything. That's a very apt description of what one might feel if they're experiencing grief. Okay, so that it could be talking about that, or it could just be talking that, you know, you just had a lot on your plate, you're stressed out, you've got just so much stuff to do, and some of the stuff you've been neglecting because it's like, gosh, who wants to spend time thinking about that? You know, whatever that is, you know, it could be something that to some people would be nothing, and to other people would be like, ooh, yeah, that's a big deal. Make sure that you're not running away from it. And make sure that you're still willing to face it, but but by facing it, you can be like, look, I understand, I'm feeling whatever it is, okay? Like, I'm gonna pretend I'm feeling angry, okay? I'm feeling angry because I lent out my book and somebody spilled water on it, okay? I'm gonna face that. I'm gonna be like, okay, Cassie, you know what? You feel angry, and it's okay to feel angry. Just don't go and punch your friend in the face, you know, that kind of thing, right? I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because I think that the idea of me punching somebody in the face is kind of hilarious. But I mean, it's like, you know, face that you have those feelings. Face that you are the person that you are, okay? But that doesn't mean that you have to deal with everything, you know, this week. It's just, you know, sit back and be like, okay, yeah, I do need to deal with that. You know, and when I think about that, I feel really, really anxious, or really, really scared, or really, really frightened, or whatever it is. Okay, so I feel like that's what's coming there. So you guys, wow, you have a lot of really interesting energy going on this week, okay? I would say you're going to probably feel very, very energized this week too, okay? So that's another real positive for this, okay? All right. Hi, pile 6. Those of you who picked the green butterfly, here is your reading. Oh my goodness. So, I mean that in a good way. You're okay. You're okay. We've got the 8 of Wands. We have the 2 of Wands. And we have the 2 of Swords. Okay, so when we get a bunch of 2s, you know, we've got 2 of them at this point. That lets me know that there's some kind of like pair that's going on, okay? So if you have like an event happen, it's gonna happen twice, okay? Or maybe this could be talking about a relationship. We'll look at some of the other cards. We have a happy message. It's gonna be an email or something like that. We've got empathy, seeing both sides of a situation. That's nice, being able to see both this one and this one. Yeah, I can see that. And we've got job. Love what you do and do what you love. Oh, and this is what I meant at the very beginning. If you happen to watch it, I love this art. We're looking at the Dream Oracle cards by Kelly Sullivan Walden, and the illustrator is Rassouli, Rassouli. And I mean, this person's got some really beautiful art. Okay, but let's go ahead and get this. Okay, something's gonna happen real fast. Okay, something, it might not be expected, or maybe it is something you're expected, but you just didn't expect it this fast. You're gonna get positive news as like an email or a text message. This contact from somebody. I feel like this is contact from somebody that you really care about, though. Okay, I don't feel like this is just like an impersonal thing. I feel like this is somebody that you really, really care about. You're gonna get a message from this person this week, and it's gonna really make you feel good. All right. We have the 2 of Wands. This lets me know that maybe you're thinking about traveling, or maybe you're thinking about somebody who is far away. Okay. This could be somebody who actually is in your same town, might even live in the same, like if you're in an apartment, may live in the same apartment complex as you, but just somebody that you feel distant from, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be literal distance, but I'm feeling very, very strong distance here because we've got water here, we've got water here. That lets me know. And we've got a message, it's like, I feel like this is somebody that you don't get to see a whole lot often, or maybe you don't communicate very often. Maybe this person's far away, okay? So yeah, you might, for example, you might find out about a really good sale on plane tickets and decide that you're going to go visit this person, or maybe they're going to decide to visit you. This might be planning some kind of vacation in general. Okay, so this is letting me know that there's like either there's some kind of travel involved, or somebody who's far away is going to be playing a part in your life this week. Okay, and then we have the Two of Swords. She's got her arms crossed over her heart. Okay, this person doesn't want other people to see how they feel yet, and she might not even know how she feels. She's blindfolded here, and we've got the moon out. The moon tends to represent hidden things that are in the shadows, that kind of stuff. Okay, we don't have the full sun, like we do here, telling us exactly how she feels. Okay, or whatever. This could represent you, or it could represent somebody in your life. Okay, that's just really guarded right now. Just respect that and know that this week they're not going to tell you how they feel necessarily, but they will. If this person could still be the person you're getting a message from, though. Okay, this person could be sending you a message that still makes you feel happy, even if they're not telling you how they feel. Okay, but like I said, it's either you or somebody else in your life that's just they're just not at a point right now to express themselves. Okay, completely. And I think that's where this empathy card comes in for most of you. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. You've got to understand that maybe you're guarded, but your person isn't. Somebody else in your life just isn't, and they're ready to go. They know what they feel and everything. You just got to understand that from their perspective, they've got things figured out. They already know how they're feeling. They know what they want in this situation. They know that either they want you to take their job offer, or they want you to help them out, with some project, or it's like, they know that, okay, this is the best place to go on vacation, or they might be like, what, I'm totally ready for a relationship. You're the one. You're like, whoa, wait, maybe I'm not ready yet. I want to be able to give you everything that I can, that kind of thing. Or it could be the total other way around. It might be that it's all like you're ready to go and this other person isn't. Just make sure that you're kind of, it doesn't really matter whether or not you can actually literally see it from their perspective, or metaphorically see it from their perspective. Just acknowledging that they have a different perspective and they're totally entitled to that, is, I think, what's needed here. Is just allow them to be who they are, with the trust that this is going somewhere, because we have lots of movement. Okay, this is like everything in your life is going to be moving. Okay, everything in your life's going forward. Okay, so even this, whether it's you or somebody else, this is going to be coming forward too. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, we've got a communication. It could be this person, could be somebody else. Okay. If you're the person, it's going to definitely be somebody else, because this is communication from somebody else. All right. So we've got job card. All right. And I read it earlier. I just want to reread it. Love what you do and do what you love. I really feel like this doesn't necessarily have to be, talking about a literal job, but I do know, as I've, excuse me, I didn't want to take a drink from water. Okay. I know, just because I've been talking to a lot of people lately. A lot of my clients, a lot of my viewers are concerned about their career, kind of, and that kind of stuff. For those of you who have been looking to, find a new job, that kind of thing, this week somebody's going to offer it to you. Okay, so that's a message for those of you who are like actively looking, have been applying and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, for those of you who aren't actively looking, maybe you're picking classes in school, or maybe you're thinking about your future. Really do what's going to make you happy, okay? That's what this card's saying. You know, do what's going to make you happy, because ultimately that's the best that you can do for yourself. You know, you can get into a career that pays really, really well, or that might be a really meaningful service to somebody that but doesn't necessarily pay exactly what you'd like. You know, it could be all sorts of things. People get, you know, I mean, you know, I'm in my late 30s, you know, so I know enough people at my age, you know, to know that some people can get kind of stuck in a career that they don't really like that much, right? And the most common one that I see is just people not doing what they totally love, you know? And so, you know, my advice to anybody who, whether you're my age or older or younger or whatever, is if you're thinking about careers, if you're thinking about something to study, if you're thinking about that kind of stuff, and you're not actively looking for a job, you're just thinking about that, do what you love, okay? Because that's the biggest regret I see in my peers and people around me, is just that they got stuck in a career because maybe they felt pressured into it, or maybe because they felt like, you know, they wanted to do this or that, you know. As long as you love what you're doing, it's gonna be fine, okay? That's what you need, okay? Because I don't feel that anybody who loves something that you know, could be a career choice, who works hard for that, is not going to be compensated in a way that they can take care of themselves. I feel like if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is generally what you love, right? You're going to get the compensation that you need. You're going to be taken care of, okay? Because it just doesn't work the other way around, you know? Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Or, you know, if you're like, man, I'd really like to be a musician, but no, I'm sticking with pre-med, go ahead and stick with it, okay? I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just saying, you know, that this card comes up when we're talking about that kind of energy, you know, of maybe having some regrets about career choices and that kind of stuff, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. I really love all of the support and feedback that I've been getting. I want to apologize to those of you who have ordered an email reading. I'm like maybe 2 days behind. If you have not gotten a message from Shannon, then you will receive your reading within the next 24 hours. If you have, you know, then you know, it might still be maybe 2 days, okay? And then if you haven't and you're like kind of like, well, I just ordered mine or whatever, you guys are fine, okay? I should be caught up by the time I get to you guys, all right? And again, the video readings, they're all taken care of. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for everything, okay? Everything. You guys are great. I will see you at my next video.